watch his highlight because I see the color. Because now they put colors in the video. I'm looking at the color. I'm thinking this is a more recent video. Maybe I'm watching some football from the 70s or the 60s. And I'm looking at him like, okay, that young man, get that open. He wide open. He open. Boom, he catching the ball. It's saucy, it's sexy. The quarterback putting it right where it need to be. It's looking nice. It's looking nice. Yo, it's Genetic Flow, where we talk about everything genetics. Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. You know me, I already told you when we get here, we talk about the nitty, the gritty, the things that make people uncomfortable. Yes, sir. But anyways, in this video today, we about to speak on who I believe is the most overrated football player of all time. Now think about it. Let me pause real quick. When we say overrated football player of all time, we are not saying this individual is not a good football player. We say amongst his peers, he's not good. Amongst his peers, he's not one of them better football players. You know what I mean? So yeah, you go and put him in the room with people that he played football with back in his time. He was great. He was great. He was great. But if you really start to dissect the time period that he was playing football, you find out, overrated. Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. So right now, you might be wondering, who is this overrated football player? You know what I mean? We can touch on a whole bunch of different people that we can call overrated.
Gets out of dark, complete to Hunter. On the move, short of the shoe bottoms.
You know what I mean? So for example, what do it mean to even be overrated? It means to be overhyped. Your accomplishments are not as they seem. Yes, sir, yes, sir. The accomplishment that you have don't paint the picture. It paints a false picture. See, if you know anything about football today, you know that the National Football League is damn well 80%, almost 80% black. And the only reason why that 20% of non-blackness that's in it are your quarterback, which is a very hard position to play. And the most important position in football is your O-line, which is split between your black individuals, your white individuals, which is another position that is, I would say, probably the second most important position in football. Now, in the quarterback position, it's starting to see a little seasoning get into it now, because the position is starting to become a little bit more active, meaning that they need more explosive athletes at that position.
It's a second down and 3. Jackson takes it himself. Look at him turn back and forth. Oh! He broke his ankles. Now he's got an entourage, and he's got a touchdown.
Football players that are like very, you know how them boys be very accurate, very eager, leader-like. You know what I mean?
Get in here! Hey, we got 30 minutes for the rest of our lives. 30 minutes for the rest of our lives. That's our bet in the first half. It ain't happening. We get the ball. I promise you one thing. We're gonna hit somebody, and we're taking it down the field for a touchdown. I guarantee you that.
Just the culture of, the inner city of America, the culture is all about competitiveness, trying to be better than the next man. Not really a position that's really fit for the mindset that's really fit for a quarterback. A quarterback, you want to be a leader, you want to be humble, you want to be able to guide your team. So we got our quarterbacks and our O-linemen, which are positions that are mixed. Now, you might be saying, why is this even important? It's important because who we're going to touch on today actually plays a position that everybody loves. He plays a position that everybody loves. You know what I mean?
Cowboys showing blitz. Minnesota. Randy Moss breaks a tackle, and Randy Moss races down the sideline, and Randy Moss just out.
Larry Fitzgerald.
Matthews. Palmer stepping away at first. Palmer extending the play. Crosses the field. Larry Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald is going to take it into Green Bay territory. Larry Fitzgerald inside the 30, the 20. Larry Fitzgerald is insane to the 40-yard line.
Terrell Owens.
Short drop, and that's where they're going to try to go. T.O. has a step, Towers, and he's going to score 98 yards.
Calvin Johnson.
There were 3 Bengals draped on him, and Calvin went up and hauled it in. 50 yards and a score.
Antonio Brown.
Yes.
Is this a helmet catch, Mike?
It's right against it, right?
Please tell me that's a helmet catch.
See that other side of this.
We used to try and do this in practice, and nobody could ever do that. That's a helmet.
These are all players that play the position of this individual that we finna mention today. Now, most of y'all might not know his name, but if you are a fan of the history of football, there's no way you wouldn't know the first wide receiver to reach over 99 touchdowns. Or should I say to reach 99 touchdowns? Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. They say that every time he touched the ball, 5 times, all it takes is 5 times, 5 receptions. And this guy guarantees you a touchdown. He did all this. He had a 17 touchdown season in 11 season games. Woo-wee. That's some good football. That's some good football. That's a good football player right there. He set a record for career touchdowns for 99 that lasts 42 years. 42 years. That's good football. That's good football. You can't take that away from him because he played good football. But you want to think about it. I'm going to bring you into something now. All this took time before 1946. He retired in 1945 after 11-year season of leading every single season in touchdowns for wide receivers. 11 seasons. But the year that he stopped was the year that they brought black athletes into NFL. So he was playing a very, very good position, wide receiver that requires skills. And yes, I watched his highlight. He actually was pretty skillful for his time, but the individual that was sticking him would have not been black. And if you look at the statistics today, you find out that 99.4% of NFL corners are of African descent. So that means why he was doing all these, he was doing it to people that would have, if the league would merge together, they wouldn't even be corners. They wouldn't even be football players. On top of that, the league wasn't black. The majority of the league was black. The quarterback had more time because on your D-line, think about it now, on your D-line, you don't have the same big, fat, explosive, muscular man on the same D-line. You got O-linemen blocking O-linemen that trying to play D-linemen. They not getting past them O-linemen because even today, them O-linemen is the best O-linemen today. Them people, them Germanic people, them people that come from Northern Europe, them big white boys. Those are your O-linemen today. And they was the O-linemen back then. But the D-linemen that was in front of them was O-linemen that they was sticking. Come on, man. So as I'm sitting there, I'm dissecting. I'm like, they hyping him up. They said I think they say he's the number 9 greatest football player of all time. That's outrageous. That's outrageous. Man, and then they like, oh, he's like this prime person that just came from Alabama. Now they hyping him up because he's an athlete from Alabama University or from the city of from Crimson Tide. Cause they've been a long time. But Alabama just recently became Alabama, man. Don't let them trick you up. Alabama ain't always been like that. You know, we had a U, we had SMU, we had Florida State, we had Texas, we had all these boys that had their time. Alabama time just not started. That's what I mean when I say overrated, overhyped. Cause when you look at his accomplishments, you like, God damn, you did a lot. You did a lot. Matter of fact, I'm gonna actually throw some of his clips in this video so y'all can see that man play football. I watched that young man run routes. I said, damn, look at him get wide open like that. Now, before I ever knew that when he was playing football, it was from 1945, I want to say, to 1934, or 1934 to 1945, when he was playing football. And I used to watch his highlight because I see the color, because now they put colors in the video. I'm looking at the color, I'm thinking this is a more recent video. Maybe I'm watching some football from the 70s or the 60s, and I'm looking at him like, okay, that young man, get that open. He wide open. He open. Boom, he catching the ball. It's saucy, it's sexy. The quarterback putting it right where it need to be. It's looking nice. But it was a delusion. I never knew that every individual on that field was non-black.
He was the most dominant player in his era, an 11-year era in the 30s and 40s.
Don Hutson led the NFL in receiving in 8 of his 11 seasons and averaged a touchdown catch every 5 receptions, on his way to a career total of 99.
Don's blazing speed made him hard to cover. This time, watch him take a long throw from Herbert. Good for 6 points.
In Hudson's last
Now, don't get me wrong. He was talented. He ran a 9.7 on 100 meters. Not 100 meters, but in 100 yards. So he was fast, but he would have had a faster man in front of him. He could jump, but he would have had a better jumping in front of him. He was explosive, but he would have more explosive man in front of him. Come on. If you would have stuck that man in front of the Dick Knight train lane, he was locked down. And I'm saying Dick Knight train lane because Dick Knight train lane is a little bit after his time. That's what he would have clotheslined, he would have on, took him out the game. But anyway, man, I just wanted to go ahead, man. Y'all tell me who y'all think the most overrated big time baller is. You know what I mean? When I say big time baller, don't come on and tell me your cousin overrated, your brother overrated, or these young high school football player overrated. I'm talking about give me your name, you know? Cause for example, I am an individual that like to believe that I think Calvin Johnson overrated. I mean, don't play, but that's for another story. Like I'm just saying, Calvin Johnson ain't T.O. Calvin Johnson ain't Larry Fitzgerald. Calvin Johnson ain't Randy Moss. But Calvin Johnson is Calvin Johnson. So anyway, thank you for watching the video. Y'all remember to do me a favor. Y'all like, y'all comment, y'all subscribe, and yes sir, stay tuned for another video.